Hey guys, ladies and gents, this week I've got a couple of toys to show you along with installing the hatch on the A6. But I was so excited about these new toys, they really good, surprised me the quality. But anyhow, this is an endoscope. There's actually a bit of it on the video, how I use it. And I bought this K2 LiPo battery charger. Love this thing. So this is the second one I've bought. I really like it. So AC DC and really powerful. Charges batteries real quick. So anyhow, let's move along in the video and we'll install the hatch and show you how I use this new fancy endoscope. And if you will, please watch the video from the beginning to the end. It's going to really help get my YouTube stuff done and approved. I only have about 1,000 hours to go, so it would really help. Thanks. Hey fellas, well, about a week ago I had a problem with my car. Fuel pump failed, and I wanted to cut it out and I couldn't see where the pump was located. So I bought this endoscope. It was like, I don't know, 150, 160 bucks, something like that. But it's real cool, and I've realized that I can use it to see places in the plane where I couldn't see before. And what's neat is you can push these buttons here and the camera actually spins around. So you can have a good look inside to make sure hidden glue joints are really good, and so on and so forth. So I thought I'd just show you that. It's really cool. I'm so glad I bought it. I'd never thought to use it in modeling, but anyhow, there you go. It's really good. All right, so the splitter is fully installed now and works great. So if I didn't have the splitter, these fans would be fighting for the airflow, and it creates, I guess, a bunch of turbulence or something like that. So like I said in the previous part of the video, is the splitter separates the air from about this point, somewhere around here, and it feeds the fans equally, so you are gaining power. So anyhow, at this point, we're now ready to sand flush the joints here from the layup. There's a little bit of flashing on. And the wing tube. Now this wing tube sleeve here is I guess made out of some kind of cardboard or whatever. So it gets a little soft at the end. So to sand it, what I've done is I've applied a little CA into the fiber of the cardboard there. And that will make it hard and easier to sand. So let's get to it. I'm still a bit proud, but anyhow, I'll work on it. Just in case you're wondering, obviously the wing tube there, this is for the servo wires to come through for the spoilers and speed brakes and so forth, because there's a receiver in the wings of each wing for a 6-channel receiver. And these holes here are for the 1/4-inch dowel pins, which stabilize the wing. Without them, obviously, the wings would flop. So I'll get to that and then get the other side done. We'll get back to you. Here's another tip for you. If you want to get things, you know, where you have tight corners like that leading edge there, make these kind of things up. This is just a piece of plywood cut off with a bit of sandpaper glued to it. So that allows me to get in here and make a nice, straight, clean joint. Trying to use this thing, it's kind of rounded, so you never get in and get it nice and square. So I make a lot of tools up to be custom to get certain jobs done, and one of them is just using an old piece of wing sleeve and then again gluing some sandpaper to it to get round things done. Here's a little tip for you. if you've got fiberglass parts, such as this hatch, which is kind of thin, and I didn't store it properly, I guess, so it got a bit curled at the back here and a bit at the front. So what I did, I just basically went around gently with the heat gun and got it quite hot, taping it down and then putting these weights on, because this had about a 3/8 of an inch gap. Now if I lift those up, you can see there's no gap now. So nice thing about epoxy layups is epoxy generally finds its memory if you heat it up, and especially if you sort of heat it up and position it and let it cool down, then it basically holds the form that you added in. So that's just a good tip, and it's helped in this case. Like I say, I had a massive gap here, so there we go. So let's look at getting this hatch installed. So obviously it's just going to go like that. It's all recessed from the mold, so it's fitting reasonably good. I will have to just clean it up a little bit. So what I've done is I've made these little tabs up. You can see them. So I've got holes here, and that's for the glue to penetrate through and create a rivet. And what I'm going to do is put 6 of them in. Well, actually, I don't need to put one here because I've got a double frame which I'll drill into. So here I'm going to put this and set it back so I can, once the hatch is glued, taped in place, I can drill small 1.5 millimeter holes in, which is just perfect for my screws. To hold them down. I'll put one here, 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 and here, and this will be a direct screw into this framework, which you can just see here, and that should do it. I'm going to put it on with shoe glue, which is one of my favorite glues for gluing stuff to epoxy. It glues wood, plastic, epoxy, you name it, and you can glue to glass with it also. It's just fabulous. So I'll get those installed, then we'll get back. Okay, so this is the way I glue them in. So what I want to do is have this part just beneath the fiberglass. So what I'm going to do is just put a nice blob on there, slide it in, making sure it's nice and firm, and then I use an electrical alligator clip, just like that, and that one's done. Come around and do this side, making sure I get a nice blob on there, and again just slide it in just so it's like that, and then get my alligator. Oops, did that fall down? Oh, that moved on me. Hey guys, I thought while those tabs are curing, I'd wire up some extensions. So I wanted to show you my little gizmo here. It's drilled out all these different hole sizes for all my different connectors so that I can hold them in place while I work on them. Makes life a lot easier. So I've got all my connectors in. I'm going to make some extensions from the ESCs to the motors. So I'm just going to get some solder in these guys. Okay, so I've got all the tabs glued in. I've left it overnight because I wanted to make sure they were totally secure. So what I'm going to do is use some tape to line up the hatch here. Make sure we got it good. I'm taping them down so nothing moves on me. And what I've done is I put a little dot where I'm going to pre-drill, because I want to make sure this fits nice, or at least reasonable. And it's all flush in. Okay, so first one is, I'm just going to use servo screws on this. Normally I use those little flush ones, but they use a really small Allen key, and sometimes you just don't have it with you, and if there's a problem I need to get it off, obviously. So I'm just going to use servo screws. Boy, it was windy yesterday, I'll tell you. We had up to 70 miles an hour gust, and a friend of mine's roof got blown off, along with all the fencing and everything. Just got totally demolished. Luckily, I only lost a small tree which was dying anyhow, so saves me chopping it down, so I'm kind of cool with that. And I think, so I got the wing tube in, obviously, as you saw. So what I have to do is come up with a way of securing it in now so it can't come out. I think I've figured that out. I'm going to actually do a little 3D thing, which goes over the thing. Anyhow, I've put the extension wires in for the motors. They all sit down nice and flush in there. The splitter has a couple of holes in and a tie wrap. And then, because you know you're in front of the fans, there's no way I want to risk these tie wraps breaking. And to be honest with you, a lot of them are made overseas, and they're just junk plastic. So hopefully these are the good ones. So I've put my shoe goo and any kind of goop, flexible goop, on here will be good enough. I will not use CA, because that can be brittle as well, where this stuff stays flexible. So if it breaks, it's not going to go flying into the fence. So anyhow, I'm going to work on the hatch now. All right, so I've put a bigger drill bit I should say, and I'll just over drill these hatch holes now. That way it will stop the hatch crawling up with the screw when I put them in. So I figure why I'm messing around with some of these internal things. I'm going to cut out these cheater holes. I want to have more airflow in, so I'm going to cut out these and put these grills behind it so that FOD, or big FOD anyhow, doesn't get in there. Because we fly these pretty much out the lake bed. There's really nothing out there but sand, but just in case. Because once this hatch is on and front gear doors are on, the cowl, there's really no way of air getting in, and other than through the intakes. And it's just possible that, you know, you can create a suction from the fans here so that the gear doors will have problems opening and opening. So this will help relieve some of that. And once we've done that, then we're just going to get a straight file and pretty much just file this sucker up. So what I do is I have a file which has no cutting on the edges, but just the faces, and that's perfect for in the corners here. I don't know whether you're going to be able to see this, but what I've done is the fuselage is slightly curved underneath. So what I've done is put a little weight on, and I'm going to try just get a couple of dabs of CA in a couple of places. Not the easiest thing when you're trying to record a video at the same time. But anyway, that should hopefully hold it in place. The CA holds it in place, so it's just like a little spot weld. And then I'm going to come along using my rubber glove and secure it totally in place. So I want to do this without messing it up. I can't get too much on, otherwise it's going to show up. Got a bit on it, but it is what it is. I'm going to have to just get a different glove. I got to come in from the other side, so I'm going to have to come in left-handed on this one. Oh, wrong one. Already did that. Yeah, using my left hand, I'm going to come in and smear it on this one. Like I say, this shoe goo, as we call it here in the US, sticks to pretty much anything. So I've used this method before, it works wonderful. So that's what it looks like finished. I managed to not cover the grill in shoe goo. So, they're fairly good. I mean, hell, it's upside down and who's going to see it? Yeah, and it's probably not scale for any of you scale buffs, but it does the job. So anyhow, that's that. The other job we're going to do in another video, we're going to cut out all these grills here. And they'll also, there's a ton of them all over the bottom of this plane. That'll also help suck in a lot of air for me.